At their July 26th meeting, the Vermont Climate Council dipped their toes into some of the details of what a plan to reduce Vermont's greenhouse gas emissions to the levels mandated in the Global Warming Solutions Act might look like. And though they avoided specifics about how much this is going to cost and how it will be paid for, they were pretty clear the answers were a lot, and by default, you. So here's a taste of what's coming down the pike.
Pathway 2 is proactively and strategically invest to enhance resilience in transportation communications, water, wastewater, and energy infrastructure statewide.
Now, the size and scope of that sentence is breathtaking in what it will mean for our economy, our quality of life, the character of our state, and of course, our pocketbooks. Just to get an idea of how radical the policies necessary to meet these goals will be, here are some examples.
I wanted to point out here that scaling, as if it isn't clear already, scaling is going to be very important to this. And it's just going to be the key challenge. Achieving these mandated reductions through these pathways calls for really aggressive action. If you look at the 2030 column, weatherization needs to ramp up from where we are today by 5.5 times what we're doing today. Obviously, that's a huge step. In the last 10 years, we have gotten to the 27,000 figure of weatherized buildings in Vermont.
The info presented on the right shows the extent of investment necessary. As of currently available data compiled by EAN, there are approximately 4,000 EVs registered in Vermont. That's only 7% of all the cars registered. We would need 46,000 EVs replacing fossil fuel vehicles in order to achieve the 2025 goals.
And then enabling electrification for all. This is the third pathway, but that's by no means a ranking. All of these are important. And in fact, in some ways, I and others on our subcommittee see this as really the gateway pathway for the changes that need to occur. We have to help individual Vermonters at their homes and their businesses be able to make the switch. And that's going to require direct investment into our
infrastructure. We recognize that communities can't be resilient and adaptive if people don't have safe, accessible, energy efficient, and affordable housing that's located in location efficient areas with equitable access to what you need for daily living.
Ramping up taxpayer-subsidized weatherization by a factor of 10, upping taxpayer-funded subsidies for electric vehicles to the point where we can get from 4,000 to 46,000 on the roads in 2.5 years, paying people or forcing them to pay themselves to switch out their fossil fuel air and water heating systems and rewiring their homes and businesses, totally restructuring our land use laws. I hate to tell these folks, but there is no way Vermont has the tax capacity to do, well, any of this. But thanks to the legislators who voted for the Global Warming Solutions Act, we can get sued by anybody from anywhere if we don't.
Meeting the needed level of weatherization and building efficiency is going to require financial support, much of which is really not there today. Here are some suggestions. Tariffing itself, on-bill financing, where people who are occupying these spaces, whether they're rental or otherwise, can pay for some of the efficiency investments that are necessary. There's Recovery Act money. I'm going to talk about a clean heat standard that could support this work. I'll include just some of those suggestions here. There are others.
We believe that determining the cost of EV and other programs and the way to pay for them are issues that can't be delayed. We encourage the Council to be ready to present to the public revenue scenarios linked to its recommendations moving forward. And these might include such as the Regional Transportation Cap and Invest Program, TCI, or Transportation Climate Initiative.
I'm just not in it, but I think we need to have a blunt conversation about like ongoing and state funding and sources of revenue that aren't just one-time federal dollars, because I really want to see some just sustainable sources of funding for this work that are just I guess sustainable and starting that investment now.
Yes. And obviously realistic funding. I use the word realistic. We all know that means significant funding is going to have to go into this if we want to achieve these goals with our buildings.
There's a river of money out there, and we need to redirect where it's going.
Let me translate that. The money that currently flows from your paycheck into your wallet and your savings account, your household budget, needs to be taken away and spent on the things that will make these unelected, unaccountable zealots feel somehow better about themselves while having zero impact on future climate trends.